Hey, welcome back to Sports Around the 313, and we got plenty to talk about today between the Lions and the Tigers and the Pistons and the Red Wings. But I want to start off today by talking about a little something that's very dear to my heart. Last time we did an episode was May 10th, which is a while ago, okay? And there's a reason for that. On Thursday, May 10th, we did our last episode. On Friday, May 11th, I went to surgery for cancer. The reason I want to talk about it a little bit is because there are a lot of women out there that get breast cancer, no doubt about it. It's a very rare thing for men, and for me to get a breast cancer, it was a shock, okay? I found out in April of this year, I had a lump that I was monitoring for about a year. I finally went in and they did a biopsy and they found out it was cancerous, okay? Well, needless to say, it shocked the hell out of me, okay? I'm like, what the hell? I mean, a man getting breast cancer, and the doctor says, well, think of it as chest cancer for a man, breast cancer for a woman. I said, well, that really lightened it up a little bit and made me feel good about it. So now I got chest cancer. So at any rate, long story short, I went in for surgery May 11th. They had to take out the cancer area. Then after that, they had to go through other tests to make sure it wasn't cancerous, and no more was in there, and nothing had spread to the lymph nodes. Well, they cleared me about the middle of May. They said that the cancer was gone. They got everything out, and the lymph nodes came back with no cancer in it, which I was very happy and very excited about. So basically, I was cancer-free, but that wasn't the end of it. The doctors told me I had to go through the possibility of chemotherapy if my rating that they would do all this testing would come back at 25 or higher. Well, I came back at a number 6, which I thought was great, and they said, okay, we don't need to do chemo, but we do need to do radiation treatment. So I'm completing almost 4 weeks of radiation treatment. I have one more treatment to go next Monday. I've gone through almost 4 weeks of it. I'm feeling pretty good. But the message I want to get out to my fans and to anybody out there who wants to listen, women have breast cancer. They get it all the time. My aunt, who was like my second mother, had breast cancer, and at the time I was a younger guy, and I'm thinking, breast cancer, women, you don't think men get it. Well, I found out that I had it, so my message to you men out there in particular, and women as well, check yourself. Make sure if you see something that doesn't look right on you, any kind of irregularity, a lump, even a lump as small as a freaking kernel of corn or a little marble, if it doesn't feel right, it shouldn't be there. Go into your doctor. Please have it checked out. The doctors told me, and they complimented me and said, Greg, had you not come in soon enough or early enough and this was not detected, this could have gone on to a stage 3 or 4, and it could have been a situation where, who knows, I could have lost my life from breast cancer or chest cancer, as they say. So by going in early and finding early detection, okay, and them being able to treat this, now I'm cancer-free. I'm a survivor. I feel good about it. It's a wonderful thing, okay? But, check yourself out. Make sure you're good. Because if you're not, get into your damn doctor and get it checked out. Because, look, I don't want to be on the other side of the fence where I'm gone. So the message is, make sure you're healthy. Get in at least once a year. And if you see something, get it taken care of. That's all I got to say. I'm happy. I'm a survivor. I feel good, and I'm back on track. And Sports Around the 313 is back, baby. Okay? So let's get to the sports right now. Let's talk about it. All right, I want to talk about the Tigers to start off with because the All-Star game just ended, so we're midway through the season. Now, again, going back to one of my other episodes, all the writers and pundits were saying the Tigers are going to have the worst record in baseball. Well, you know what? Yeah, they fumbled a little bit here and there, but they still don't have the worst record in baseball. There's 7 or 8 or 9 teams with worse records. Okay, the Tigers are still, I don't know, they're banging it out. They're trying. Those kids are trying. And Ron Gardenhire, the manager, I love this guy. He's really got these young guys really working hard. I know they don't have a lot of talent. They don't have a lot of major league talent. They do have talent, but maybe not at this level, but they're trying hard. I just hope Al Avila doesn't totally get rid of some of the other players that they've acquired. If Nick Castellanos, he's a guy they brought up through the system, don't get rid of him for a couple of farm hands. Keep this guy, build around him. You need a building block. You've got rid of everybody else, okay? Justin Verlander, all these other guys are gone. Miguel Cabrera is out for the whole year on an injury. Keep at least Nick Castellanos around as a building block. Build around him. You got a lot of young talent coming up through the farm system. Some of these pitchers like Casey Mize, they just drafted #1. I'm telling you, give it a few more years. I know it's not going to be overnight. You got to be patient when you're a Tiger fan. If you don't have patience, you're out the window, buddy, okay? Now, let's move on to the Red Wings. Last time we talked, they hadn't even had the draft yet. The Red Wings were expected to draft, I think, like 6th, 7th, or 8th, or something in that area. They were probably going to take a defenseman. Okay, there were a couple of names that they threw out that they were going to take, but lo and behold, a guy that was probably supposed to go #3 in the draft fell to them, I think at #6, Philip Zadina. Okay, I think he's 18 or 19 years old, but this kid is good. He should have gone earlier. He fell into our lap. The Red Wings took him up quickly, and I'll tell you what, this kid's good. He's a goal scorer. He loves to score goals, and that's what the Red Wings need. They had a lack of goal scoring last couple years. I think adding him, he could make the team this year, and if he didn't, he'd be brought up sometime in the middle of the season. They did bring back Thomas Vanek. They re-signed Mike Green as a defenseman. Vanek, as you know, used to be with the Wings, and they got rid of him in a dump a couple years ago. Now they brought him back. Good a veteran to have on the team. Hopefully Zetterberg will play one more year and get a solid year in. Okay, prediction? All right. I've knocked the coach, but I told you last couple episodes, I'm going to give him one more year and see what he can do. I think the Red Wings can really scratch out this year and get enough wins to make the playoffs. That's what I'm saying right now, okay? And I'm going to stick to that. We'll see how it goes. But, of course, that's down the road in October. Okay, let's move on to the Pistons. Dwayne Casey. Does this name ring a bell? Dwayne Casey was the coach of the Toronto Raptors for like 7 years. He was just named a few weeks back Coach of the Year in the NBA for getting the Toronto team all the way to the playoffs and having the best record in the East, even better than the Cleveland Cavaliers. The owner fired him because they said they couldn't get past LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The last 3 years, LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers have eliminated the Toronto Raptors. So they fired Dwayne Casey. Okay, now he's available as a coach. Well, the owner of the Pistons, as you know, let Stan Van Gundy go. Okay? That was no secret. They snatched up Dwayne Casey. It was a process. They didn't just walk in and say, okay, we want to hire you. They did their homework. Ed Stefanski, head of the front office right now, is the one. He's worked with Casey before. I think we got a good coach. We got a coach of the year, basically. The other team let him go. But the thing that I find is hilarious is they let him go, and a week later, LeBron James leaves the Eastern Conference and signs with the Lakers. Bye-bye, LeBron. Gee, Toronto, you should have kept your coach. Now you let him go. Boy, did you blow it. Good God. Well, we got a good coach. I like him. He loves to work with the young players, which Stan Van Gundy didn't like to do a lot, okay? So I think Casey's going to work with these young players that we've drafted over the last few years, give them a chance, get them out there, put them in the fire, let them see what they can do. They're talented. They were drafted in the top 10. So I think it's going to be good for us and again, healthy is the word here. If our guys stay healthy, that's going to be a key as well. But again, a prediction, okay? I'm thinking the Pistons, they're going to make the playoffs this year. The Eastern Conference isn't going to be what it was last year with Cleveland and LeBron James. They're out of here. Okay, Cleveland probably won't even make the playoffs this year, but I think the Pistons will, so that's a good thing. Go Pistons. All right, we've talked about the Red Wings. We've talked about the Pistons. Let's jump into baseball again real quick. I want to backpedal a little bit. We did talk about the Tigers and the fact that they're not going to make the playoffs, and they're okay. They're entertaining some nights. Some nights they're boring as hell. But on the other side of the Tigers, item that I'd like to talk about is the Hall of Fame induction, which is tomorrow. If some of you fans aren't aware of this, or maybe you've been traveling to Mars or something and you're not aware of it, Alan Trammell and Jack Morris from the '84 Tigers World Championship team, World Series team, are getting inducted tomorrow with 3 or 4 other players in the Hall of Fame. Now, to me, I think this is great because I think it's been a long time coming. Trammell should have gone in years ago. I think Jack Morris should have gone in years ago, but at least they're getting their chance now. And I'm excited for them. The one thing that kind of pisses me off, though, is Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell were together as a team in the infield for 19 years straight. Trammell wasn't trash. He had a great batting average, great home runs, stolen base, this and that. He had all the tools, all the stats. But actually, Whitaker was a little bit better, and Whitaker has not even been nominated for the freaking Hall of Fame. Okay, Trammell's hurt by that. He knows that. Trammell's going to talk about that tomorrow, does his induction speech into the Hall of Fame, that Lou Whitaker should be standing there with him. And I hope someday that the people that vote for these things get it right and get Lou Whitaker in the goddamn Hall of Fame in baseball, for crying out loud. Now, just a little off story here. Alan Trammell. Everybody that's followed the Tigers for years knows who Alan Trammell and Jack Morris are. Great team in '84. Almost did it again in '87. They played some great baseball. Unbelievable team. But the '84 Tigers were unreal. I mean, from the right out of the gate, the first game of the season, I think they went 35-5, and just they were in first place the whole way and went all the way through and kicked ass and won the World Series. What an exciting time for Detroit fans and for the people in Detroit in 1984. Now, Alan Trammell, a little bit about that. Little side story here. I know Alan Trammell, okay? He knows me. How did that happen? At the time, I was working for a company called J.L. Hudson's, which was a department store. I was in management with that company, and lo and behold, they came to me one day, and I was the divisional sales manager at the Ann Arbor store, and they said, we got a new guy hired in security. We want to bring him up and introduce you, and you can take him around. I said, great. I said, who is he? They said, well, you'll see. They brought him up to my office. It was a 19-year-old guy named Alan Trammell. Hudson's hired him in security. I don't know how it all happened. I don't even remember how it happened. All I know is this kid, who I knew was a rookie, he hadn't really done a whole lot yet, comes up, hi, I'm Alan Trammell. I'm with the Tigers, but I'm going to be working with you this in the winter. I said, great, Alan. Greg, this is Greg. And, I introduced myself. We chit-chatted, and I showed him around the store, and he stuck around, and we worked together, and we had a good winter together up there in Ann Arbor, and talking about baseball and sports and so on and so forth. But finally, the Tigers got the clue that he was working in a job that he could actually hurt himself in or get hurt in. So they put the kibosh on that and said, hey, Alan, we're going to pay you big bucks, and you can't be doing stuff like this. What if somebody punches you or breaks your arm or, that type of thing? And I understood that. So he ended up leaving the company, and over the years, we've run into each other periodically in different cities where he was playing. I actually signed a hat for my son, Tony. He met the kids. Great guy. Very low-key, not a flashy guy, just a nice down-home guy, originally from San Diego, California. And he's presently still working for the Tigers as a assistant to the general manager, Al Avila. But tomorrow's his day. Tomorrow he gets inducted to the Hall of Fame. And when I met that kid at 19 years of age, I looked at him and I said, how are you ever going to arrest somebody for shoplifting? I said, they're going to knock you out. But no, he's a good kid. He was a good kid then. He's still, I think he's a kid now, even though he's up in age. But you know what? Congratulations, Alan Trammell. I'm so happy for you. I haven't seen you in years, but best wishes to you and your family, and also to Jack Morris. And let's hope that Lou Whitaker someday gets in as well. So good luck to you guys tomorrow. I'm so happy for you. Okay, now let's move on to football. Okay, what's happening in football? The Detroit Lions. Matt Patricia's our new head coach. Bob Quinn's the general manager, third year. They made some good draft picks. They made some good signings. What's going to happen this year? Well, I'll tell you something. I feel good about them, okay? Today was the start of training camp, officially today, on Friday, with no pads. They start Sunday with pads, and that's when the real world kicks in for these football players. But there was a critic or some sports critic or something on, I don't know if it was USA Today. He made his bold predictions for the records for all the NFL teams this year. Now, bear in mind, the Lions went 9-7 in the last 2 years. Last year, 9-7 didn't make the playoffs. The year before, 9-7 made the playoffs. This was under Jim Caldwell. Okay, I think it's a better team than it was 2 years ago or last year. And I like the coach better. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. So this guy says the Lions are going to be 6 wins and 10 losses. Is this guy out of his freaking mind? What the hell's wrong with you? You know the Lions went 9-7 the last 2 years under Caldwell. You're going to tell me Matt Patricia's team is going to go 6-10? You're out of your freaking mind, Jack, whoever the hell you are. I want to tell you something right now. Yeah, if they go 9-7, yeah, maybe, but I think they're going to go 10-6, and they're going to make the goddamn playoffs. So who the hell is this horseshit son of a bitch that's coming in here telling us 6-10 and getting the fans all upset? Go home. Read a freaking book. Play Monopoly or some goddamn thing. You got no business predicting something like that for a team like the Detroit Lions going 6-10. At any rate, so the Lions, they got their first game of the season Monday night. It's a Monday night game against the Jets at home. I love it. September 10th, mark that on your calendar. It's going to be on Monday Night Football, playing the Jets. It's going to be a great game. And then meanwhile, they're going to have preseason games coming up. There's 4 of them coming up. They're going to have dual practices with 2 different teams this year. I think that's exciting. And Matt Patricia, I think he's going to do a good job. Yes, he's never been a head coach. He doesn't have a record as a head coach, but he's been one hell of a defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots, who have won, like, I don't know, how many, 5 or 6 Super Bowls in the last, 10, 12 years, something like that. So he's got good credentials coming in. I wish the Lions luck. I think they're going to make the playoffs as well. Mark my word, and believe me, they're going to get more than 6 wins, okay? Matt Patricia, good luck to you and all your Lions. Kick some ass. Keep going. Okay, listen, backpedal real quick, men and women. Check yourself out. Make sure you're okay healthy-wise. If you feel something's not right, you get your ass into the doctors and make sure it's right, okay? I'm cancer-free. I feel good about it. That's all I got for today. Now get the hell out of here.